Hey, best friends.
Welcome to the Bestie Advice Podcast. Where we discuss all things relationships.
You guys, I promise you, we did not talk about these beforehand.
Not at
at
all.
all. But my next lesson learned for 2021 actually goes hand in hand
Yeah.
with what she just said. And you have to learn how to move in silence. I
Yes,
learned that everything does
good.
not need to be announced. And in the world of social media with the congratulations and all of
Yes.
this, which I do believe, I do post things here and there,
Yeah.
but there are some things that I have in the works that I
Yes.
don't want to, and
Right.
I've learned that you have to move in silence. And I saw this TikTok and I think I sent it to you.
Mhm.
I think I did. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But in the TikTok, this girl was saying it was about friendship. The TikTok was about friendship. And the young lady was saying that I think something happened on her job or something happened in her life. And she told her quote unquote best friend.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. You
Yeah,
sent that
who
to me. Yes.
didn't really
Mhm.
respond. And then the
Yeah.
friend put something on Facebook. I don't always have to clap for your wins. And I remember like, wow, like that cut, deep.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you are friends with someone, that's who you want to celebrate with your
Right.
promotions, your,
Right.
your business ventures,
Yes.
your friends and your husband and your children and your mom and your dad or whoever your significant other,
Yes.
you want to celebrate with them. And I remember hearing, I think it was Oprah and some other movie stars that never got married, or they just was like, I want someone to be able to share my life with or share my accomplishments with. And so people want to share their accomplishments.
Yes.
But in 2021, I learned that you have to move in silence. Everything does not have to be shared.
No, it doesn't.
Of course you can share within your household, especially if you're married, of course. Your husband,
of course,
children, but everything doesn't have to be shared. And so one of the things that the Lord gave me, and that I wrote it down, because I was going to share something that was exciting for me. And it was something little, about my education. Yeah. And I was getting ready to post it, and he was like, don't post that. And so I was like, oh, okay. So then I was like, oh, I'll post it tomorrow. I just thought, so I was going to post it again. So don't post that. And I was like, why? Especially I see people, oh, I'm graduating. I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. And I'm like, well, I did this and that. He's like, don't post it. And there's some business things that Mitch and I have done. And he's like, don't post that. And so he said, I wrote it down. He said, don't announce moves, confirm arrivals. And I said, oh God, okay, I got you. That was a lesson that I learned in 2021, to move in silence. The Lord said, don't announce moves, confirm arrivals. And so I'm going to continue to hold that dear to me. So
that's good.
Yes.
It's like you don't, so and I'm getting from that, as far as you don't have to let people know your step by step. When you get there.
There you go.
I'm here.
There you go.
This is what I've done. Past tense. This has taken place.
It's already happened. Yes, it has already happened. Yep.
That's good. And a lot of times, even with social media, we can allow it to pressure us when we're thinking like, oh, well, let me post mine. Well, I'm getting married. Well, I just wrote a book. You just want to show, post every little thing, almost like it forces you to try to keep up with the Joneses.
Exactly.
You shouldn't.
You can't.
You don't have to. We don't have to post. I woke up. I went to sleep.
But some people post everything.
Yes.
I'm sitting in McDonald's eating a cheeseburger. You be like, wow, really? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So we do have to make sure that we move like a ninja.
There you go.
Look,
Move
look,
like a ninja.
move like Jesus when he gonna come through like a thief in the night.
Hey.
Ain't nobody gonna know. So it's like that's what we have to do. We have to just show up. You gotta just boom, it's done. It's done. That's good. That's good. So another one that I have is what I've learned is that the longer I think and ponder about things, the more I allow my to be talked out of doing things. You know, I it could just be me, but you know, I talk to myself.
Me too. And
yeah,
I
I call
myself
myself by my name, you know, like Kimra, what are you doing?
Right.
And, you know, it's like, but what I've learned is that the longer I think about it, and a lot of times we think that we're processing things, and sometimes we do. It is, you know, God may say, hey, you can do this, or God give you this idea, and you're trying to get it together. And yes, it's one thing to get things together, to plan things out, but it's another thing when you're second guessing. Because the longer you wait, then you'll start second guessing, well, maybe I should. Well, I think she's doing that. And didn't he just do that? But then are people going to support it? What are people going to say? Well, no, I'm just going to do it. Well, should I do it? Should I do it now? So it's like the longer you wait, the longer you can talk yourself out of doing things. And I know even for me, this goes back a few years ago, and Irene can tell you, I started talking about my business probably, I think it might have been 2018.
You were, yeah.
Verbally talking about it. Now, God gave it to me in 2015, but then I really started talking about it. It didn't come to full fruition until 2020 in the midst of the pandemic. So it's because I allowed myself to be talked out of doing it. Sometimes you got to just do it.
Because we even talked about doing a podcast in 2018.
Look, y'all, it was me. It was me.
No,
I could say it was.
We didn't do it, but now look, you know,
absolutely.
And then times and seasons too, you know.
Yes, and I think too, a lot of times we take a lot of time over planning instead of coming up with the plan. God, is this your plan? Put your stamp of approval. Now I'm going to do it. That's what we have to do. Here's the plan. God, do you agree? Okay, you agree. Now I'm going to do it. We can't allow too much time to go by, or we're not going to do it. So again, that's my lesson. The longer I think about things and ponder on things, the longer, or I'm going to allow myself to be talked out of doing what I'm supposed to do. So don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. When God gives it to you, when you get that idea, or you need to write that book, or you need to open up that business, or you need to go back to school, whatever it is, do it. Do your research, do it. That's it. That's all.
Do it. So
yeah,
my next one is along those lines too, about talking yourself out of something, but mine is different. Mine is all about communication, but it's the same. Yeah. You know, if you love someone and you're in a relationship with them, whether it's friendship or a relationship or a sibling, you know, whatever relationship, communicate. You know, I was guilty of holding things in, not really saying how I felt. That cheated me out of an opportunity to express my feelings. And so this year, I have been intentional about sharing my feelings. So I learned that no one is a mind reader. And I learned that no one knows how you feel unless you tell them how you feel. And so I would say my lesson learned this year is the importance of communication with any relationship, you know, with friendship, with siblingship, with mom and daughter, with me and my husband. And I've had to have some conversations. You know, I mentioned a family emergency. I had to speak for my sister. Yeah. And that's one of the things that really helped me learn communication better, you know, because I would let stuff go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. Yeah. And when I had to speak for my sister and be an advocate for her, it really made me realize, like, wait a minute, I'm fighting for her. I'm being her advocate. I can't even advocate for myself, you know, and it's like, no, I'm going to speak up. And if I don't like something, you know, I know how to be professional. and I know how to talk in whatever environment that I'm in, but I'm not going to let stuff slide.
Yes.
I took a lot of shade from people saying stuff to me, and I just let it go. You know, now you want me to be the shade assassin, then that's what I'm going to be. You're going to throw shade. Hey, we going to throw some good shade right on together, because I realized that I was doing myself a disservice by like, well, I'm gonna let that slide. You know, I'm not on their level, just saying stuff in my head to really justify not speaking up. But I realized that communication is key, and no matter what relationship it is.
Absolutely.
It's the relationship of value, and I value your relationship. I learned that you have to talk things out, and I want to hear how you feel. What did I do? And I want you to hear how I feel. Now, I have to say that this year, in learning that lesson, I'm grateful that it was not in any friendships. Like, I think I've been down that path. I'm happy with the friends that I have. If God wants to send me new friends, I'm open. I'm not saying that I'm closed off, but I'm happy with the group that I have.
Yeah.
However, it was with family that I really learned that I have to speak up. And that's where I found it was the most difficult. And so this year, I learned about communication and being able to express my feelings. And I feel good about saying, no, I didn't like that. No. And I'm not just going to say, okay, because that's what you want me to do.
Right.
And I just was like, ooh, that felt good.
A weight was lifted. A weight was lifted. Yeah.
A weight was lifted. And in the past, I would just walk it off because it was family. I didn't want to ruffle any feathers.
Yes.
But it was a lot, like I said, being an advocate for my sister. It was really a lesson learned for me that, hey, you're advocating for her, advocate for yourself.
Yes.
So,
that's good.
Yeah.
That is good. Communication is key. Communication is vital. Like you say, as far as in the opposite sex relationships, with your spouses, girlfriend, boyfriend, your significant other, and then also with your family, even at your job. If you don't like anything, not saying you can change. That's the thing. A lot of times, I'm sorry, we feel that we don't say things because, or he and she they're not going to change, or they're not going to change their rules. It's not about you trying to change someone. It's about you getting things off your chest.
Yes.
In a good way, in a positive way, because it is an appropriate way to address how you feel. We can't go all off on the people's out. Sometimes we do a little bit. But we have to know where we can be a little bit more aggressive, when we could be aggressive here, you might not could be aggressive over there. Sometimes we even have to take a step back on when we're going to address things. You know what I mean? Yes, I agree. Communication is key. So I'm gonna cross on over as far as with mine. It kind of ties with the communication part, but it's more so communication with our spouses.
Oh yeah.
And another lesson that I learned is that the right spouse is really your best asset. So having the right is a good asset. If you notice, I'm not saying your spouse is your best asset, but I do believe that if you're married to the right person, if you waited, you asked God, is he the one? Even when you got married, if you got married on a whim, it's kind of like, well, I loved him, he loved me, he loved me, with a B and an ED on it. And you all might not have been saved, but now you all are saved. God can always rekindle things. He can reconnect things. He can realign things. So it's no such thing as, oh no, that's a lost cause for us. The devil is a liar. No, it is not. God can always make things new. So, but anyway, so having the right spouse, it really is a good asset. And when I say that, unlike, your girlfriends, a lot of times, with each other, we may, take a step back before we may say things, because we know, one another, as far as what some of sensitive spots may be. So we want to make sure we're addressing things the right way. But with our husbands, and I'm speaking specifically for men, They don't care that you're sensitive. They're gonna say what they have to say.
I know
Now
Mitchell
they may
Abrams
say,
Jr. don't, child. I know he
yes,
won't. Okay.
yes. Now they may throw in there, don't take this the wrong way. It's like brace yourself, brace yourself, brace yourself. But
We'll say, get your chest ready. Get it
right,
ready.
get your chest, get that shield on up there. It's about to come down. But at the same time, you have to know that your spouse is not intentionally trying to hurt you.
Absolutely. No.
So,
No.
so, and when I say they're a good asset, they're going to tell you when you're off. They're going to encourage you when you're on. They're going to be like your biggest cheerleader or whatever. But it's like it's no holds barred with your spouse.
No.
Even with me to my husband, it's really no holds barred with me. I'm going to tell him, yeah, you on. No, you're not. No, that wasn't a good way to do that.
Right, right.
You could have did this a little bit better or whatever, where someone else might not tell him that. But I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm not trying to tear him down. I want to say things to him that's going to build him up, that's going to make him better, that's going to add value to him. We want to add value to our spouses. I do just believe, again, that this lesson that I learned is that my spouse, he is the best asset for me.
I definitely 100% agree. Yeah. Because I think I said earlier, Mitchell could see, and he made our fourth bedroom into, it was his office, and yes. Mitchell has a lot of clients. He could have been like, I don't know what you're going to do, but he saw, he was like, my wife needs space. So I definitely agree. And sometimes, you know what, Karan, they are able to see things that we can't often see. And that's something I know that he can see when I'm fearful, when I'm relinquishing my power. Yeah. That is one thing that I can know, that Mitchell be ready to just snatch me all up and through here. Like he feels like I'm relinquishing my power to someone. Yeah. No, he's going to be like, no, you doctor, like you got the credential, he right. Pep talk, don't relinquish your power to anybody. Yes. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Yes. And I can hear him almost in my ear, even sometimes at work when I'm about to kind of, reclude back or whatever. Yeah. I can hear him saying, no, don't do that. And so I'll give a little pushback. And so you're right. That's a great lesson, that your spouse really, really is your biggest asset, your secret weapon. Yes. That's true. I really like that. And so, kind of in that same vein, I'm not trying to be cliche-ish, so I'm just going to say this year that prayer, lesson on that prayer has been my lifeline. That's where awesome. It wasn't about me making God deep. I wasn't walking around, spending hours in prayer and all of this, but it was literally conversations that I had with God. Yes. Because I thought I was going to lose it several times. I thought I was like, this is it. I'm just taking me right on out. The amount of stress that I was under. And it was like, God would just wake me up, 3, 4 in the morning. Nobody was up. It was quiet. And just talk to me. And I would talk to him and I would get that clarity, and prayer became my lifeline, where when people say, just pray or pray about it or talk to God. I mean, let me just demystify prayer. Yeah. You don't have to do the old Dr. Watts and all of this. Right. I had a conversation with God. Have mercy on me. I need you now. I need strength. Talk to me. I can't handle this. And I would say it. Sometimes I wouldn't say anything. I would just be like, okay, God, it's me. And I would allow his presence to minister to me. Right. Or I would need a word and I would dream exactly what I needed and I would wake up refreshed. And so I learned that prayer almost became like my air, because I felt like I was drowning. So I think I fell in love again with God, that intimacy. It's like I fell in love with the time that I spent with him, that time in prayer, because it wasn't about intercession for anybody. It was about him and me rekindling our relationship. Yes. And it was like what I needed. And now I hear God so much more clear. I hear what he's telling me to do. I hear when he's saying, don't do that, do this.
Right.
I hear when he said, no, now it's time for you to sit down, or now it's time for you to be quiet.
Yeah. Yes.
And I followed that
Yes.
because I've spent the time, in prayer with him. And I need that time, because I find that when I don't have time in prayer every day, or and it's not hours and hours,
Right.
it's just almost moments that I need with God.
Right.
I am crazy. Like my mind is going. Sometimes I'm thinking ahead of what I'm even speaking. So I'm thinking ahead, like what I have to do. And it's like that quiet time with God has kept me. And so I would say my lesson learned is the prayer. Prayer has become my lifeline. And I just recommend that to anybody. Just okay, God, it's me. I'm here.
Yes.
And just allow yourself to feel God's presence and his love and his peace. So that has definitely been a lesson. Like, I know how to pray. I've always prayed.
Right.
We prayed together.
Right.
But this was different. When you felt like you were drowning every day, I was like, okay, hold on. I need time out. Like, what time? I need a time out, because the prayers that I'm praying, it ain't working.
Right.
But I need something else. And it was like God just really almost like baptized me all over again with the Holy Spirit. So
yes.
My lesson learned is really just rebuilding my relationship with God and just praying almost like I needed air. And so that's definitely a lesson that I learned, and I'm going to take with me into 2022.
Yes, prayer is needed. That's another thing I believe that's essential. And a lot of times we do make it too deep. When we think, we gotta lay out prostrate on the floor. Sometimes it does cause for that.
Yeah.
But it's just taking a step back, and it's not about going deep. It's not about speaking in tongues for 20 minutes, or whatever. It's having a conversation with him. We don't have to, before we address him, we got to call about all the names in the Bible, or whatever. But it's about having a candid conversation with someone with respect. That's how I always look at it, with respect. Even when we don't understand what God is doing and we're questioning God. I've heard before, you're not supposed to question God. Who said that?
Right.
Who said that? No, I don't understand. I don't understand. So I believe even when we come to God and we may be questioning and we're saying we don't understand, as long as you're addressing God with respect. I don't believe in going off on God.
Right.
I don't believe in giving it to, I'm gonna give you my mind. Like, no, as long as you're talking to him with respect. You can talk to him whenever you want to, on the bus, in your car, at your desk, doing the dishes in a grocery store. And things are so convenient these days. Child, put you some headphones on, you be in that good grocery store. People can see the headphones.
My AirPods.
Look. I have a whole conversation. They're like, oh, her conversation good, whoever she is. It sure is. It sure is. You in your car, they don't know if you talking, as far as on your car phone, whatever. But it's whenever you want to. Yes, I do believe we need to have a set time with him, but we can talk to God whenever we want, how often we want to talk to him.
Absolutely.
Period. So yes, I know when it comes to me, I can feel when I'm off, and I have to take a step back to say, like, has some time gone by? He did wake me up for the past 2 days at like 3:00 in the morning, and I didn't get up. So then it's like, is that why my day is going crazy? Is that why I'm about to pop my son in his mouth? Because I'm thinking it's my son, and it's like, no, he's trying, and it's the truth.
Right.
God is trying to get your attention. So he'll have stuff going all types of ways.
Just all
you're like,
crazy.
what is going on? What is going on? He's trying to get your attention. He's saying, come back to me.
Yeah.
Come back to me. So yes, absolutely. Prayer should be our lifeline. So my last one is going to be don't let, I've learned this year not to allow my failures to stagnate me.
Good.
So where I may have failed, or things did not go the way they were planned, I cannot allow that to keep me stagnated.
Yes.
Where I'm
No.
like, okay, I don't know what to do. I failed. It didn't work out the way I thought it should have worked out. Failure can keep you locked into a place
Oh my
if you
gosh.
allow
Yeah.
it to. Like your feet will be, it would seem like you have concrete shoes on and you
Like
cannot
frozen with
move.
fear. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Where you're afraid to do something different, or you're afraid to make another move because I failed at that. That didn't go right. It was supposed to go like this and it didn't. So I learned that I cannot allow my failures to stagnate me. Yes, sit there, think about it. What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? Okay, that's what it is right there. All right, let me come up with another plan and move.
That's good.
Oh yes,
That is really good. So
yes,
I'm going to do one more bonus when I was thinking while you were talking.
Yeah.
And it's for all of our besties out there. Our podcast is all about, relationships.
yes.
And a lesson learned, I think that both Kiran and I learned, and we want you all to learn this, is really be intentional about your friendships and your
Yes.
relationships. And,
Yes.
we talked about being purposeful about our time and our
Yes.
energy and,
Yes.
our successes and our marriages. Look at your friendships,
Yes.
take this time to evaluate if it's people that shouldn't be in your life, if you got these red flags in your friendships, now is the time to begin to cut those and be purposeful, intentional about rekindling your relationship with the people that you have green flags with, that your friends that you don't spend a lot of time with that are good
Absolutely.
people.
Yes.
Friends that you might have a slight misunderstanding with, don't go into the new year not rectifying that. You want to make sure that you communicate. We talked about communication and we talked about prayer. Ask God to show you who to be intentional with, because I have learned over the past 2 years with this pandemic, that friendships are important. The
Yes.
relationship that you have with other women are so important to have that sisterhood, and if you're a guy watching this, a brotherhood,
Yes.
and having people that, Kiran, your first lady said this, Lady
Mhm.
Andrea Hudson, and I
Yeah.
loved it, about having the 3 types of people in your life, people that are above you, that can mentor you, that can pour
Yes.
into you, that can help take you to the next level, people that are on the same level as you, so you can iron sharpen iron, where you
Yes.
can help each other, and then someone that's below you that you can pull up, that you can pour in, that you can
Yes.
mentor. And so
Yes.
take this time to really evaluate all of your friendships and all your relationships, and go into the new year, with the new determination to be a good friend, to be a better
Yes.
friend, to love on the friends that you have and those that you need to cut. I don't like that toxic. Oh, we're just toxic. That's how she is. Cut that. It's like time out for that. If someone's
Yes.
constantly,
Mhm.
throwing shade or jealous, then you might have to just cut that off. And I think that I
Absolutely.
really truly learned during this pandemic, in 2020 and 2021, I really learned like who was for me, who was my friends. I
Yes.
learned who I wanted to pour time into, who I wanted to
Right.
spend time with, who I was going to reciprocate the same energy back. So I think, our podcast is all about friendships and all relationships, but I think thinking about friendships, be a better friend, be intentional about being a better friend.
Yes.
Don't be like, oh, they didn't call me, so no,
Right,
call
right.
them, text
Yes.
them, ask
Yes.
them, how are they doing?
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
I think that's very important. And that's important to mental health, to have good friends,
Yes.
good
Yes.
girlfriends that you can just have fun with. And
Right.
I think if this pandemic ain't taught us anything else, that human connection is important. So
Yes, it is.
yeah.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree as far as that we should be intentional. We do have to realize when we are in a relationship, it takes a minimum of 2 people. It takes a minimum of 2 people. We don't want to be in these relationships where it's this monologue. We want to make sure we have open dialogue where 2 people
Exactly.
are actually communicating. And it's almost like if you're in a marriage and you're the only person talking, you're the only person saying how you feel, you're the only person that's showing love, you're kind of be like, why am I in this? So it's the same
Exactly.
thing when it comes to, our relationships as far as with our friends. We want to hear back from each other. You reach out, I want you to reach back sometime. I text you, sometimes you text me. And we do have to learn one another. And I believe we've said this in some previous podcast episodes. It's like you got to learn your friend. It might not be type of relationship where you talk to them every day on the phone, or you're texting every day on the phone. With Irene and I, it'll be something random on social media or some new show, and we're like, girl, you watching such and such? Random, off the top of the dome. Random Wednesday at 10 a.m. in the morning, or whatever. We're texting.
Very random, yeah.
But here's the thing: because we're connected, we can do that. We don't have to say, hey, I know it's been a long time, I haven't reached out to you in like 3 weeks. Like, no, it's like, hey, a girl, we starting off, girl, ...
Yes.
Have you seen, are we going to do, or let's do, or whatever, because we have that connection. So you have to work on the connection, work on that foundation, make sure the foundation is good. So yes, be intentional about your relationships.
About your relationships. Well, besties, we hope that you've enjoyed our lessons learned. We hope that you've learned some major lessons in 2021.
Absolutely.
Please comment down below if you've learned some lessons. If you're listening to this on our Apple or Spotify podcast, or any of streaming online services, just comment on our podcast. Let us know that how you are enjoying it. We're so excited to be able to give you this content. 2020, was the year 2021 was the year we launched our podcast. And so we're excited about our first 2 seasons. And so we're going into 2022, and I'm excited about that. Big things happening in 2022. So I really don't make any New Year's resolutions. I just kind of do it. And like I said, I'm going to move in silence.
Yes.
Do you have anything you want to share, any resolutions or any well wishes as we go into the new year?
Well, when it comes to New Year resolutions, I feel sometimes, me personally, I don't know about anybody else, sometimes I feel like it's setting me up for failure, so I don't do it.
I don't do it either.
But I do kind of write down as far as some of the goals that I have, but when I start saying I'm not gonna eat red meat, I'm gonna exercise every day of the week, it's like I gotta just do it. Like if you're gonna start something, stop something, just do it. And I always hear my brother in my ears when he's like, don't talk about it, just be about it. So it's like, stop talking about it, just do it. So maybe that's what my New Year resolution is gonna be. Just do it. Whatever I have written down, whatever I have made known unto God, whatever request I have made known unto him, I got to just do it. God, here it is. Put your stamp of approval on it, and then give me everything that I need to get it done. So, hey, to you, same thing. Just do it. Whatever it is, write it down, make it plain, get that vision and run with it, and then just do it.
I love
y'all, besties.
Besties, just do it. So thank you guys for an amazing year. 2022, we have so many things planned. You guys just keep rocking with us. We want to grow our platform, besties. So we have some things in the pipeline. Just hang out with us. Hang out with us until next time. Happy New Year, besties.
Happy New Year, and have a blessed one.
Amen. Amen. Thanks for joining us today. See you next time.